Hey everybody, I'm live. It's John Hope Bryant. I'm in Seattle, Washington, giving a speech for Entrepreneurs Organization, Seattle, later this evening. I'm the founder, chairman, CEO of Operation Hope, America's first and largest nonprofit financial services network for the poor, the struggling class, the working class, and the teetering class, those with too much month at the end of their money. About 80% of the American population and arguably 90% of the world. Also an entrepreneur, Brighter Ventures. You'll be hearing more about that later in the year. Author of several books, one coming up later this year. I'm going to get to why I decided to do a second video today. I see the audience building slowly. I apologize. I'm not sorry. I apologize for not giving you much notice. Hello, Arto Smith. Not giving you much notice, but oftentimes my life is just such that I have to do it when I can do it. And I trust that you'll watch it live, or and we can talk while we're live, or we can do it on. And this is such a topic. I'm have my phone out so I can actually monitor what you're saying and try to comment. I'll try to write comments in the comment section and talk to you about what I'm seeing. So I'm going to try this time to actually write comments. I see you guys signing on. Hello, everybody. This is a really important topic, and I was inspired to do it because of a comment that was left on my Facebook page today. By the way, the video I did a day or two ago about a Wells Fargo commitment of $60 billion to create African-American entrepreneurship, African-American homeowners, actually people were very respectful. I mean, people who disagreed were respectful about it. People who agreed were sort of sober and rational about it. I didn't see one ridiculous comment. Hey, Cedric, Minneapolis in the house. One ridiculous comment. I think you guys are learning. So I love your vision, Robin Garcia. Thank you. I think you guys are learning you can talk without being offensive, listen without being defensive, and always leave even your adversary with their dignity. And somebody else being right doesn't have to make you wrong, and you being right doesn't have to make somebody else wrong. So I want to first of all commend you for the decency and the decorum of even when you disagree with me. And I want you, if you disagree with me, definitely. Hey, Zena Knox, Catalina, hello. Yolanda, hey Yolanda, I want to give you a personal acknowledgement and credit for the video I did, I think it was this morning, I'm moving too fast, on passion. That was Yolanda Frazier's idea. She's in Cincinnati. Hey, Jeff Newell from New York City in the house. Okay, so even when you disagree with me, that's fine. By the way, God wants you to disagree with Him. Be skeptical. Just don't be cynical, because when you're cynical, you've lost hope. And I'm about to break down the difference in this particular video today, and I'm going to do a whole video on the difference between cynicism and skepticism, because I think it's a big deal, and it will keep you from your glory, it will keep you from your blessing if you can't recognize the difference. Please excuse me for not continuing to acknowledge everybody as you sign in. I see you signing in. I'm going to make sure I hit you in the comments, but I want to respect you and your time and get to the point of the matter. So one of the comments that was left, oops, turn the audio off. One of the comments that was left in the video from yesterday, today was very respectfully done. Why should we do business with this bank? They've proven to be criminal and this and that and another thing, and 5/10 and the fourth, and we should do business with other banks, and they're criminal and forget them. And I decided to hit this straight on. And I put in the comments to the guy, I said, look, first of all, respectful statement, and let's assume that you're right. Let's just expand it now to a country. People think that America is screwed up. People think that America is, I have an ex-friend from South Africa who I went and did a lot of work in South Africa, put my own money up, put Operation Hope's money up in South Africa for 10 years, and then this dude from South Africa want to jam up America about all that we're not doing right. And whoa, slow your roll, Telro, put on your brakes. We're all from Africa, so I respect that. But I'm going to put my money in South Africa. I'm going to try to help my brothers and sisters in South Africa. And now you're going to jam up my country for all the art. Yes, some of our sins are real. You're going to jam us up for being imperfect? First of all, there is no perfect, right? And a saint is a sinner that got up. A saint is a sinner that got up. So to the point, the person that says this company is the devil, all right? First of all, I say prove it, okay? But let's put that aside for the moment. Let's assume that the person's right. The company is screwed up. In fact, the company did screw up in this example. They screwed up big time. Like 2 million inaccurate accounts, and some of them actually fraudulent, I believe. In other words, they were maliciously created so a person could get a bonus. So I'm going to just set that aside. I've said it, right? I've said it. Let me say this now. So let's assume you don't like America. You say America, and right now there's a lot of people who don't like America. You got good reason. I was with an Irish guy in my plane, and I said, man, I apologize. You got hassle coming through security. We're going through a moment now in our country. So even I was embarrassed, but I love my country, right? This is my country. But let's assume the person's right. This is a crappy country. We screwed up. We messed over the Indians, true. We messed over blacks, true. We messed over all around the world. Then I say this, fine, perfect. I'll wait. You find the perfect country, and I'll buy you a plane ticket to go there. Crickets. Find the perfect company. Find the perfect family. Find somebody perfect in your family. All right? We got drama in our own family. We got to stop wasting time on ridiculous arguments, right? So a saint is a sinner that got up. So screwing up is like waking up. Everybody's going to screw up. But what was your intention, right? So the person said, well, you know, Wells Fargo is this, that, and the other thing. Wait a minute now. The person was African Americans. Wait a minute. You tell me all the African Americans who work at Wells Fargo, they're criminal? You tell all the hardworking people who get up every day, who look just like you in this particular example, who think they're doing an honest job, senior people, not just junior people, you tell me that they're unethical, they're criminal, right? You can't group think like that, right? And by the way, nobody paid me to do this video. I'm not sponsored by it. I'm telling you the truth. Now, there are some unethical players, and capitalism by its very nature picks winners and losers, and capitalism it can be horrible. Slavery was the most horrible example of capitalism. Does capitalism have errors? Yes. But capitalism is a horrible system except for every other system. Even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, you've got to first collect money like a capitalist. Hey, Asha. You've got, hey, Muriel Gar, great banker, black banker, Muriel Gar with SunTrust. Great sister, dedicated her community. You gonna tell me that Muriel Gar is somehow unethical because somebody in your institution makes a mistake, maybe a big one? Come on now. Let me come back to that point. This Shimon Peres told me this. It was a great quote. He said, John, people are gonna criticize your work. Brandon Barbers is right. Even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, I want you to understand how this world works. You got to first collect money like a capitalist. Even if you say, I don't want to deal with capitalism, I just want to run a nonprofit. Where do you think the money for the nonprofit comes from? Came from taxes. If the government's funding it, where do the taxes come from? Income. Where does the income come from? Businesses. Where does the business come from? Capitalism. Let's deal with China. Let's deal with Russia. Let's deal with non-existent economy of Korea. All right, let's put that aside. Put Korea aside for a moment. Communism succeeded in a dream and failed in its execution. How do I know that? Because Chinese countries, the largest communist economy in the world, picked capitalism. That's right. China, for which I love, I go there every year, picked capitalism. Picked capitalism. Russia, a communist country, spouting all this stuff about perestroika and we all in this together and all this kind of crap. We're gonna take care of our people. People starving, by the way, in the outside of Moscow in Russia. Picked capitalism. The only reason their economy rose is they picked free enterprise and capitalism. And so capitalism, like democracy, listen, folks, let's stop arguing about stupid stuff. Capitalism, like democracy, is a horrible system, radically unfair, except for every other system. So unless you've got a better system that you have proven works for masses of people, please shut yourself up. Don't tell me to shut you. No, shut yourself up because you are wasting time and your own valuable energy. I want you to be successful. I don't want you spouting off and saying something you can't take back. Let me now deal with the Wells Fargo example straight on. And I'm going to differentiate it from IndyMac Bank. IndyMac Bank, which was bought by One West Bank. People want to criticize One West Bank. Wait a minute, hold on. IndyMac Bank was a crooked enterprise. I'm saying it. And the guy who ran it, Michael Perry, I think the guy's name was, I met him. I didn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Unethical. Did fraudulent-based subprime lending, all kinds of stuff in South Central LA, Compton, California, West Coast, right? Bank goes bust. Rightly so. And there should have been criminal prosecution there, right? That was bad intentions. One West comes and buys the bank, the bank said the federal regulators like, please take this bank, like for free. Investors come in, clean it up, but unfortunately mortgages take a while to work their way through the system. So now everybody wants to jam up one West Bank and picket one West Bank for something that happened 4 or 5 years ago from the bank that was his predecessor. Now, was One West a perfect angel? No. But our lack of financial literacy, our lack of understanding how the economy works, how things flow. It's like President Obama's work, in the last 2 years, some of that you only see now under President Trump. Because it takes a while to flow through the system. So it's, in many ways, the last president is setting up a situation for the next president because it just takes time for things to work. You cannot turn around the Titanic in a minute. So in this example, the mortgages exploded slowly. So now we want to jam up One West and say they're a criminal, and we forget that the real criminal here, if we did our facts and read stuff like I do, it was really, in this example, IndyMac Bank. Don't trust me, go do your research. You'll find them exactly right on this point. Wells Fargo, okay. Wells Fargo has a spotless reputation for like a decade, right? And before that was Norwest Bank, right? I mean, basically spotless, extraordinary community engagement. I serve on one of the community boards. Yeah, I said it. More philanthropy in California, in LA, one bank, more philanthropy in LA than most corporations in the whole country. Made more in LA and gave more back in LA. Okay, and then did that set the standards for other corporations to give? Did they force sort of other corporations to sort of match their giving or try to be embarrassed by their lack of giving? And so they step up? Yes, they did. All right, so that was a good thing. Now, Wells Fargo screws up. Huge screw up. Massive screw up. They could have put their hands in their pocket, could have put their head in the ground. They're getting their head handed to them with the regulators in Washington, lawsuits. None of that's going to be over for a long time. Stock price took a hammer, right? Reputation took a hammer, because banking is a trust business. You don't have to worry. You don't have to do God's work, right? This stuff, the universe has a perfect accounting system. Whatever goes around, comes around. If somebody's bad, they're going to pay it. But there's a difference between intention and actions. Somebody can screw up with actions and still have good intentions. That doesn't mean they're a horrible person. Now, back to the point. I didn't even know about this. I show up to a meeting because my friends asked me to show up to a meeting, and I showed up to this meeting at the Center for Civil and Human Rights in Atlanta. I'm like, it better be a good meeting. This is a bank showing up doing a meeting at the Civil Rights Museum. I just show up there out of respect, and they announced a $60 billion commitment to create 250,000 black homeowners, basically acknowledging a problem, right, in society. And part of that money is going to financial education, financial literacy, which is not federally funded, folks. Listen to me. This drives me crazy, and this is my fault. I got George Bush to sign an executive order making financial literacy federal policy. Forgot to ask for the money. That was 2008. So we need money for financial literacy. Part of this money funds the Urban League, I hope Operation Hope, the National Association, I think, of Real Estate Brokers. I think it's NARAB, I believe. Center for Responsible Lending. These are ethical organizations, right? They're using this. So, by the way, would Wells Fargo had done this, had they not gotten in trouble? They would have done something, but I don't think they would have done $60 billion, right? So wait a minute. You're going to now say, push away the $60 billion. We don't want it because the bank is less than perfect. What corporation do you know putting up $60 billion to help minority group? Voluntarily. By the way, it don't even happen outside of America. I've been to 100 countries. You don't have this kind of philanthropy in Asia. You don't have this kind of philanthropy in Europe. You don't have this kind of philanthropy in Latin America. We turn our nose up on it as if it's some kind of entitlement. No, commend people when they do right, even when they did wrong. If you want to have a little grace, you better show a little mercy. I'm going to repeat it. If you want to have a little grace in life, you better show a little mercy. Mercy is when some rancid SOB does not get the rear end whipping that they so desperately deserve. And grace is when you and I get the blessing we don't deserve. I'm going to repeat it. Mercy is when somebody who has done wrong does not get the rear end whipping they so desperately deserve. Grace and mercy. Non-judgment. Agree to disagree, though. Henry Gomez, you being about financial literacy, having messages from upper management down to the retail floor to give as many credit cards as possible. Okay, that's some people in upper management, Henry. There's no evidence that this was, that the CEO knew. I know these facts, by the way. There's no evidence that there were people trying to get their bonus in that retail group. By the way, the people who made this commitment Monday, the mortgage company, spotless. Go do your facts, Henry. I know. Not a thread of this crisis was in the mortgage division of Wells Fargo. Not a thread. In fact, the dude that was on stage with me on Monday, Brad Blackwell, called out the mortgage crisis with me in 2008 and another advocate, Bob Grenades of Greenlining Institute, before any other banks would step up. In fact, we went to the Federal Reserve to ring the alarm. There was a subprime mortgage crisis coming in 2005, 6, and 7, and we were called socialists, communists, and written off, and nobody came to the meeting but this one banker. The guy who was on the stage with me on Monday. He stood up and gave us dignity. So I know what I'm talking about. So you cannot group things. That's like saying that everybody, Henry, in your family is stupid because your cousin Joey is stupid, or everybody in your family is a crook because your nephew Boo Boo is a crook. No, you say, well, no, I'm me and that's him. We just happen to have the same name. The company's made of people, and people are faulty. They make mistakes. Let me be very blunt to you. I've had people call me at Operation Hope, track me down. Hey, man, this was, thank God, 10 years ago. Y'all did me wrong. So I'm sorry, what happened? Somebody took an application fee from me. I don't charge application fees. Operation Hope services are free. Somebody took a $1,000 application fee from me, didn't get my money, I didn't get my services. Okay, that was fraud. That was somebody under my name working at Operation Hope doing bad. You know what I had to do, Henry? I had to own it. I don't know this person. I don't know what's happened. If this is true, we are wrong. I am wrong because I'm the CEO. The buck stops with me. We will fix it. Henry, the best I can do, I'm talking to a commenter here, the best, that's why, so Henry agrees with me on the lending point. That's why they're the number one lender in the country. Thank you, Henry, for being fair. So Henry's saying, I hear you. By the way, we're just having a passionate conversation. I'm not arguing with you. I hear you, brother. So I'm almost forgetting my point. The best I can do with the person criticizing Operation Hope is well, check it out, right? Don't get defensive. Check it out. He was right. Sorry, she was right. We did screw up. Somebody did take her money. It was some employee who we didn't screen properly for ethics and values. I don't know how you get in somebody's head and their heart and figure out whether somebody's a thief or not. But as soon as we caught them, we fired them, we prosecuted them, we reported them to the authorities, and then we wrote that lady a check, we apologized publicly, and we made sure that she was treated with dignity. You know, she went around she was our biggest spokesman in East LA saying, oh, these folks are the truth, right? Because we owned it. So life is 10% what life does to you, and 90% how you choose to respond to it. And that's why I'm commending Wells Fargo here today. I hope that they do sponsor my video series. So I'm telling you this before they write a check. Like I can tell you right now that nobody sponsors this series except Operation Hope and me. So this is just me talking to you straight. No BS, coming to you straight. And I'm telling you, they responded with integrity. I think they should do more. But either they're going to pay fines and pay money with damaged reputation and lowering stock price, or they're going to take the high road and do some things like this $60 billion commitment and regain trust and integrity by showing through their actions that they are honorable people, that they're going to own their mistakes. I mean, their CEO got fired. What else do you want? All these senior executives got fired. The CEO quit. But a lot of these they're still firing people. Some people I know. What else do you want? You want them like on the cross, like burning? Okay? Be careful of throwing rocks in a glass house. There are no perfect in this country. There are no perfect in this world. All you can say is, has the company responded with a sort of integrity which would suggest they have the right intentions? I think $60 billion is a nice number. And if that number is real, I don't know the details, but you can measure this, like every quarter, what have they done? If they're going to create a 250,000 black homeowners with these flexible terms and not irresponsible terms, credit score needs to be at a certain level, otherwise if you got a 500 credit score, you're still going to default on your mortgage, right? And then you're going to blame it on the bank, okay? No, if you're a postman and you bought a mansion, that's your fault, okay? Maybe somebody should have allowed you to buy the mansion, but there's certain things we have to own ourselves. Nobody gave me a subprime loan, I wasn't going to take it. I mean, a predatory subprime loan. So back to the topic, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up and answer the questions and wrap this up. We got to get off of this anger thing. We got to get off our high horse and stop being so judgmental about everything, because we won't progress. It doesn't mean you're not right, but where's the perfect? You know, I love my mother. My mother's my role model. She's amazing. And sometimes she drives me crazy. And sometimes I drive her crazy. Does that mean something about our intention, right? The people in my family that sometimes I don't want to talk to because they drive me crazy. And if you're being honest, true to you too. There's people in your family you won't lend money to. Come on now. Give me some thumbs up. Let's not lie about it. Come on, I'll wait. I'm waiting. Zena Knox is laughing. Oh, you're not going to give me no love on that one. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there's people in our, it's like one thumbs up, right? There's people in our family, no, there they go, that we won't loan money to because we know they're not going to pay it back. And we know we loan them money, it's going to be an argument, right? So let's just be, but that don't mean you don't love them. That don't mean they're not good people. They're just not, give them a grant, don't give them a loan because it's going to break your heart. I want you to spread this video to everybody you know. I want you to, I don't give a lot of notice, so, you know, I get people live when I get them live. But I want you to amplify this, share this. We got to start having a real, Catalina says yes, she's laughing, almost done, crying. We got to start having a real conversation in our community, broadly speaking our community, about how we move forward. We cannot keep on getting on our high horses. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to win the battle and lose the war. The biggest thing that's our problem today, ladies and gentlemen, is not racism. Yeah, I'm in Seattle, Monique. Nika asked, am I in Seattle? Yes. I'm giving a speech tonight at the Needle, whatever that's, I mean, not whatever it's called, but I mean, the Needle, you know what that is. The biggest problem today, the problem when Dr. King was in the movement, my mentor, Andrew Young, who's just left for Nigeria to 84 years old, still kicking it, killing it, running around the world, Andrew Young, Ambassador Young. The problem in the 60s and the 50s was racism. And people who hated you. If you were black, brown, women didn't have rights in the early 20th century. You know, if you were anything but mainstream, you got your rear end whipped night and day, and it was clearly an issue of race. But people, Dr. King had it good in the sense that people told him, I love you or I hate you. Today it's not love or hate increasingly, ladies and gentlemen. It's radical indifference. People don't care enough about you to hate you. They don't care enough about you to hate you. Private schools, private roads, private communities, gated communities, private security, private islands, private planes. I can go on and on. People are saying, you know what, whatever, y'all keep that drama to yourself. And when folks start zipping up their wallet, and like y'all fine, you want to complain, you know, y'all do that over there. You want to tear your stuff up, y'all do it over there. Don't come to my neighborhood with that crap. That's when we have the death knell of the soul. It's radical indifference. When people don't care enough about you to hate you, but care about you to hate you or love you. I'm trying to create a beloved community. I'm trying to finish what Dr. King and Andrew Young started. I'm trying to inspire a new generation to get engaged with life, to be about what you're for, not what you're against. It's so easy to be against something. It's so easy to be judgmental when we know we aren't perfect either. I know I'm not perfect. So if some company wants to give $60 billion to my neighborhood, you know what I have to say? Yes, thank you very much. I'm sorry, ethical player. Check cashers, payday loan lenders, rent-to-own stores have come to me and offered me $1 million. But I knew they just want to hire me as a PR mouthpiece, and I've said no. No, thank you. In fact, just the opposite. I'm going to run you out of business. I'm going to use a free enterprise system and rob you, and you rob my people in broad daylight. And I'm going to rob you of your customers in broad daylight using the free enterprise system and education and make smart, sexy, and get a whole generation of people who are going to take their communities back. And that's what I'm talking about. But meanwhile, we need some honorable people, some good folks who can write some big checks to back our movement up. If you want us to wait till perfect people show up, ain't going to be nobody behind. And I said, ain't on purpose. Ain't nobody going to be behind your movement but you. You think you're a leader? And you turn around, you don't like that. You think you're a leader, and you turn around, there's nobody behind you? You're not a leader, you're just a guy or woman out taking a walk. We got to stop just running our mouths and start running our feet and running our heads. We have to understand that solving poverty these days is going to be from the neck up. We're going to think our way out of these problems, and we got to stop winning battles and losing wars, and stop being so judgmental, and get the anger out of our system. This is passion you're hearing me, not anger, and get focused on the goal. The goal is prosperity. Now, sadly, we've been sold a bill of goods. Okay, I don't know what that comment was, but elaborate on that. Okay, everybody's selling a bill of something. Look, slavery was so bad. Abraham Lincoln, February 3rd, 1865, signed a piece of legislation called the Freedmen's Bank to teach free slaves about money. I've told you about that. But he also, on the same day, put "In God We Trust" on U.S. currency so that capitalism, government endorsed capitalism, and something like slavery would never happen again. That's how bad it was. The government said, we gotta separate ourselves from this. This is Jesus dealt with, the money changers in the temple, turning the money changers, the table over the money. He's the epitome of patience. He just got frustrated, turned the tables over and said, look, no mas, folks. You've got to find a way forward. But yet, money is mentioned in the Bible almost more than any other thing. You've got to, money's not evil, it's the love of money that's evil. So, look, if somebody's doing wrong for your community, hold them accountable. But conversely, people have been saying black banks. Yeah, great, black banks. There's not $1 billion black bank in this country in assets. Most of them 100 million, 200 million. There's limits to what they can do on their own in your neighborhood. So yeah, go and I have several accounts at black banks. For those, someone say, well, John, he's talking about black banks. I am not. Hey, Tim Burt, Tiffany, hey, I own accounts in black banks. I support black banks. Dr. King's daddy was on the board of a black bank, Citizens Trust Bank, for 40 years, and I support that bank. I have money in that bank. All good. We should do that. But I also know with a limited capital structure, a limited deposit structure, limited capital structure, there's only so much they can do to create systemic change at scale in my neighborhood. And I know that when you have thin capital, you got to underwrite loans conservatively, which means that the loan that sometimes you get from a black bank is going to be more conservative by a standard of 25% than the bank you can get, the loan you get from a big bank. And we don't have a lot of capital for a down payment. So if a small bank needs 30% down payment, 40% down payment, that's great, but you can't do that. You need the bank that can give you a 10% down payment requirement. That may be a big bank. So Debbie Wright, I love that woman, was CEO of Carver Federal Savings Bank. They got the closest to being $1 billion bank. I think it was 800 million, black owned. And that, by the way, her aunt was see, you know that's live because I'm just using my memory. The founder of I'm blanking here. Dr. Debbie Wright, her auntie. She's gonna kill me because it's on the tip of my tongue. The lady who inspired Dr. King to start the Poor People's Campaign. I'll come back to it. I think it's the first time I had a blank on a live video. But I want to say her name so badly. Children's Defense Fund. Boom, the founder of the Children's Defense Fund. Her niece ran this bank, Debbie Wright, in Harlem, because when Mary Wright Edelman was with Dr. King in the movement, she said the next thing is about money, Martin, and that's why he launched the Poor People's Campaign. So that's the closest we got to a $1 billion bank. But so you need to do both things. You can't be emotional about money. You can't be emotional about business. Every decision you make emotionally is going to be a bad decision. There's 35 million black people. You need scale. There's another 40 million Latinos. I mean, there's 180 million struggling people. You cannot solve that by a few people running down to the bank and putting $100 into a black bank and say black power. No. Pull on the other side. Support a black bank because you should, not because you're trying to make some stupid statement. And by the way, that statement won't last. You're not going to do that every week, every month. So let's be real about it. If legitimate ethical companies or companies who are trying to be legitimate want to invest in your neighborhood, the answer should be how, where, and when. At the same time, you want to support minority institutions and minority organizations like my own. Don't let me just write the whole check. You should be joining our operation for $25 a year yourself. Don't tell me you can't do it. You spend more than that at Starbucks, right? And show me that you got skin in the game and you appreciate what we're doing. All this education we're doing here is free. All my services are free, right? So if you don't like what you're seeing, then see something. Then show and see something else. Show a different model. Watch how you live your life. It may be the only Bible anybody else reads. Boom. All right. I'm gonna take some comments here. Anger is an emotion, not a solution. That's Terrence Golden. Catalina, wow, thank you. Okay. How do you find black banks in your area? Samuel Robinson. You can probably just type in your computer black banks in America. The list will come up. All right. Go to the FDIC's website. They'll give you a list of black banks. You need to understand what the FDIC means, OCC, Comptroller of the Currency, CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Read the Wall Street Journal every dang on day. You got to get your civil rights. Henry Gomez, that's why I'll be in Atlanta, the Hope Global Forum on April 10th to get educated and pass on the word. Good job, Henry. Thank you. Asha Francis, yep, right mindset is crucial. Only way to improve yourself and subsequently our communities, right mindset. And she's all the way from Switzerland. Katie Carter, give them my branch and an account number, and I can use $2.5 million to grow my vision. Bravo, there you go. He's like, the only color I see is green, right? Think our way out of the problem is Ebony Young. Strategy, baby, strategy. That's Robin Garcia. Eric Pepper, wow. Sadly, we've been sold a bill of goods. It's Terrence Golden. I don't know what you're speaking to, but You can give me some more comments add some more detail in your comments. We didn't get the memo, Terrence Gold. You're absolutely right, and that's my book, September of this year. Okay, I love you guys. Civil rights is important. Educate ourselves, but I've been in banking and lending for 10 years, and it's scary to see. This is Henry Gomez. See people just completing a BK and credit cards swarming their mailboxes. You're absolutely right, Henry. You're absolutely right. Big banks have to be held accountable sometimes. You're right, but I'm not the one. I can't. Look, they're my friends who work the protest lane. I work the partnership lane, right? There's some folks who are experts in what they're against. I'm what they're for. I used to tell folks back in the last crisis with the banks. I said, look, once you talk to Greenlining and Bob Galazda and Reverend Jesse Jackson and all my friends in the civil rights movement, you can't wait to talk to me, okay? So you can talk to me about prosperity and how we uplift our people, which is all anybody wants, or you can just get your rear end whipped in all these protests. Figure it out for yourself. I don't really care which one you do. It's 7.1 billion people in the world. I'm going to go talk to somebody else. You don't want to talk to me? I'll go talk to somebody else. I don't have a self-esteem problem. I got many problems. That's not one of them, okay? And I'm not going to get angry. I'm going to get even. I'm not going to hit you with a brick. I'll hit you with my American Express black card and knock you out. Okay, I'm done. Love you. This has been Civil Rights, Unbought, Unbossed, Unbiased, coming to you straight at No Chaser on the road in Seattle. I've got an hour to eat and go to my speech, so please allow me to sign off. Share this with your friends. I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have comments, I will answer them later. I promise you. Brandon Barber says, yes, sir. Okay, love you much. Peace and light.